Last action for the day, Group F. Croatia 0, Belgium 0. Belgium crash out of the World Cup. This is a result that I and a few other YouTubers feel vindicated. It was a bold call to make, but a lot of us just felt that there was something off about this team. And it's culminated in the failure of a golden generation. So, with this result, the only thing there really is to say is what a bottle job. Romelu Lukaku, you needed one dang goal, and you get four opportunities, which are basically impossible to miss. And you managed to miss each and every one of them. Like, most of them didn't even give Croatia's keeper, didn't even have Croatia's keeper in the way. Just an empty goal in front of you. I don't know how I would be able to look at the team or even continue playing the game after that. That might sound really harsh. I'm not trying to roast the guy. But the last 15-20 minutes of this match, Croatia were insanely lucky to not concede. And they need to use this as a blessing, because they will be punished by a team that is far more clinical. And now Croatia has gone 2 games in the World Cup group stage, did not score a goal. They had 2 0-0 draws. They only had that 4-1 thumping of Canada. And I think that Zlatko Dalic more or less has his starting 11 figured out. But I think Croatia has room for improvement here. They seem a little bit lacking all around on every area of the pitch than they were 4 years ago. Very fortunate to not concede, to not lose this game, to be kicked out of the World Cup. It was as if God himself was Croat on the day. Now, let me make this very clear. I think Croatia was the better team for most of this match. They had some chances themselves. They had some opportunities to take the lead. But the last 15-20 minutes was on a platter. It was money on the table for Belgium to take this and eke out an unconvincing victory in a similar fashion to how they did against Canada. They just could not score. You had players who are known to miss big chances when it's important, but it's usually one miss, right, which decides the match. This time you have 4 situations that are 99 times out of 100 goals, and you do this. Yes, I know split-second reactions on balls can come into play here, and you know, human nerves come into play. But Lukaku has to score at least one of those opportunities. I think my nephew could have scored, man. It's just it's astounding. Roberto Martinez is done. He should have been done much earlier. Bye. Goodbye. Au revoir. In French, however you say goodbye in Dutch, I have no idea. A lot of Belgium's possession was just passing the ball around the back. The opportunities that did arise, rare as they were often played out way too slow, or they just completely died off before being even remotely dangerous. It's an absolute shortcoming on tactics, and these guys like Mertens and Witsel are slow pokes. They need to go to a nursery home. That's how slow they are. You know, we talked a lot of smack about Belgium's back line this tournament, Alderweireld, Vertonghen. It was the midfield and that lack of offensive creativity up front that was really the weak point in this tournament, not the back line. It's kind of funny how it works that way. Football has a sense of humor. Eden Hazard, I don't know how his international career recovers after this. He might be done. He might be time to hang up his boots. And the thing is, Belgium does have a few young players coming up the ranks that are decent. Dominic Rich mentioned in our recent episode in World Cup Digest. You know, guys like Jeremy Doku, who when he was subbed on to this match, when Belgium was trying to go ahead and grab a goal, he livened the pitch up, and it was like Belgium actually showed signs of potency going forward. Like he added a much needed injection of offensive threat. And I think also going forward, maybe other youngsters like Charles de Ketelera, maybe he'll get some playing time on this team more consistently and be part of that next generation if Belgium wants to continue having a generation of promising players. And I just feel like this was coming, and Belgium scored one goal in the entire tournament, which was that Michy Batshuayi against the run of play strike against an inexperienced and naive Canadian team. And they just deserved a crash out. I will say Zlatko Dalic, though, he made only 3 subs, with the third one being in the 92nd minute. That was the wrong call. It almost cost Croatia today, because Gvardiol was, I thought, the best player for Croatia on the night. The kid is amazing. Best defensive player for Croatia, I think, in this game. And this was a chance for Croatia to actually top the group. But funny enough, by not topping the group, they avoided Spain. And they get Japan, who I still think, yes, despite Spain losing today, you prefer Japan over Spain. Just for reasons of overall quality, let's say. Juranovic, Sosa, Lovren, Levakovic, they need to up. They need to up. This is not good enough. They will be put to the sword by as early as the next round by Japan if they don't pick up their game. Because look, terrible. Erlich and Sutalo on the bench should tell Dalic that he's not making the right calls here. And a lot of Croatian fans have said 100 times that Juranovic is just terrible. He's bad in attack, but at least he plays well in behind defense when he drops behind. Levakovic, I thought, had the slightly better performance of those that I just named, but Lovren did have that really big mistake that nearly cost them. Lovren should not have even had to do anything there, because Levakovic should have intervened in that cross. Again, it just goes back to Gvardiol. Gvardiol was the best player on the pitch for Croatia today. And I don't give all the blame again. Going back to Lukaku for a moment. Yeah, I gotta give him a little bit of credit. He was positioned really well. Belgium's offense looked competent with him on, but he was very, very disconnected, and he was missing that final touch. But those misses are bad. The thing is, even though those misses are bad, it's not all entirely on him. The entire Belgium team just flatlined. Not just in this match, but the whole tournament. But maybe you give him a little bit of a pass because he came back from injury. Probably not 100% fit yet. But Belgium is going to be left to rue how catastrophic of a tournament this is. And any other final thoughts I want to add? Yeah, I forgot to mention, maybe Dalic should have brought Orsic in earlier than he did, because he only really had an impact in the last 10 minutes of this game. He should have entered the game by then. Lovren is lost, but I already covered Lovren. That's about all I want to say. But yeah, Croatia advanced, Belgium are out.